All right, guys, here's another BG perspective. As always, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we upload.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm voting for Kamala only because she's a woman and she's black. In 2024, nothing else, no other reason. Just because she's so-called black, even though she don't call herself black, but because she's black and she's a woman. Like nothing else? You're not gonna give me no other feedback. After everything that happened, especially with like COVID, I can't just go by that. No, you gotta give me something. Like, am I against her? I mean, I'm not saying that, but I can't just go by because she's a woman. I'm not gonna even say because she's black, because she clearly says she's not black, but because she's a woman. I just don't understand. Like, that's it? Like nothing else. Y'all gotta give me something better than that. Like why? Like, why am I voting for her? And then when you ask them questions, so what, you voted for Trump? Anything else better than the other man? Anything else better than Trump? So you going by your emotions. Like, how you know she better than Trump? Like, what you mean? How you know she better? Who else running? Like, I don't know. Like, or who else is going to run? Did she even get approved? Like, is she even actually gonna be on the ballot? I don't even know. But come on, y'all are pushing us away from being Democrats. Like, well, y'all already pushed me, but it's like, it didn't be the older ones. Like, don't give no kind of explanations. Just, yeah, you know, you gotta vote. She's black. She's a woman. What? No, y'all got me with Obama. Y'all got me. No, like, you're gonna have to tell me something. Me, personally. I mean, you know, my vote might not matter. I don't know, but you're gonna have to explain it to me, like, why? Because from what I'm seeing, and then she wasn't even popular. Like, nobody liked her before she became vice president. So they hated her before she was even vice president. Nobody liked her, but now we love her because she's running for president. We used to love and admire and adore Trump, but now we hate Trump and he a racist. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, something just not right. Y'all gonna have to explain to me why I should or should not vote for her, should or should not vote for him, should or should not vote for independent. I mean, you actually really don't have to explain to me, because I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. But if you're gonna, you know, try to persuade me or try to push me to vote for somebody, you gotta give me more than she black and she a woman. No, it's not gonna work. Not for me. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if you guys caught the interview with Bill Whitaker and Kamala Harris on 60 Minutes, but in my opinion, that was an absolute embarrassment to the American people as well as herself, all right? First off, I would like to give a major shout out and major kudos to Bill Whitaker. He is what I would call a true journalist, all right? That is the interview that the American people have been waiting for. The questions that he asked is the questions that the American people have been wanting to ask her for so long, and he finally did it. Major shout out to you, all right? Now, at this point in Kamala's election campaign, I can truly understand why the Democrats have been keeping her in hiding for so long and preventing her from doing interviews, because it's obvious without a teleprompter and without a notepad, she is not getting through any interviews, all right? She literally sat on that stage and did not answer one question, you guys, not one, all right? And at this point in her election campaign, I can imagine that she is truly unburdened by the things to come after this interview, okay? She might as well just go ahead and hand the election over to Trump, because there's no way that the American people are going to vote for her after this.
I have a message to the Democrat Party and to Kamala Harris, and this is a message from real black women. We were freed on January 1st of 1863. Therefore, you're not going to control us. You're not going to bully us into voting for whomever you select for your own personal gain. We're not going to do what you say because we're afraid of you. Those days are over. But I also wanted to specifically address what you're doing with Kamala Harris. First of all, most of us do not care what her race is. You could have promoted her as just a good candidate. But the fact that you're promoting her as the black woman candidate, that makes people that are intelligent, that makes us pause and say, okay, so what? She's the black female. Tell me something about what she's going to do for my community, for my family, and for my country. If you can't do that, then you've made a great mistake. You have lost half of us who are intelligent enough to know that the President of the United States must be able to sit across a table from Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, from whomever the new prime minister is or president of Iran, and from Yi from China. You have to have those qualities. Therefore, you cannot be afraid to have an interview before a favorable news network like NBC, CBS, CNN, ABC, and all of the rest of them. If you are afraid to have an interview, my major concern is what is Putin going to do with you or to you and to the United States? Those are the things that are important to us. Then let's go down the line. Again, if you are a real presidential candidate, we want to know about issues, policies that will affect us, things that you messed up in the last 3.5 years. We want to know today. You have 2 months. Today, how are you going to fix the prices of food in grocery stores? I don't like using the term inflation because most people don't even know what that means. But you know what? Everybody knows what it means, how expensive eggs are. That, you know, she was making these comments about using hot sauce. How expensive. Louisiana hot sauce, I can't afford to buy it anymore because it's gone up. It's like tripled in price or something. It's crazy. Those are the things that we're interested in. We also want to know illegal immigration, what you have done to the border, and why have you done it to the border. You were the border czar, but now we see an influx of illegal immigrants. Military-age men. We see what is going on in Colorado. We know that the prisons in Venezuela were emptied and they were told to go to the United States. We see what that has done to our cities. And we want to know, why did you let that happen? We want to know what's happened with child trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking on the border when everybody has free reign. Those are the issues that are important to American black women, okay? Real black women who are free, who do not care what race you are. They could have put you out here and never said anything about race. But if you told me, yes, we've made mistakes in the last 3.5 years, but I promise you in the next month, we're going to get the price of eggs down. Next month, we're going to stop illegal immigration before the election. Show us what you can do before the election comes. Let me see what you have. It's like, okay, you know, don't just talk your talk. You better walk your walk. Do it right now while you're the vice president. Therefore, some of us can follow you. And the other thing, all of the efforts that you're making, that the Democrat Party is making to make you pretend to be a black woman, they're insulting. The fact that you have to change your diction when you go from place to place, insulting. I've spoken, I don't know where, how many different places. It never has occurred to me to speak differently before different crowds of people. Now, if you're intelligent, you're going to speak intelligently. I don't care where you're speaking. And to assume that you have to talk down to black people is insulting to all black people. You don't have to talk down to us. You don't have to get somebody on stage dancing and twerking to relate to us. Grown people, you can talk to us like grown people. And you know what? It doesn't matter what race. We don't care. But I just wanted to say this to the Democrat Party. You've made mistakes with this candidate. And I want you to know that the black women of America, those of us who are free, we recognize your mistakes.
Y'all gonna wake up to the bullshit. I really want to know when the fuck y'all gonna wake up. The media ain't for us. Okay? All this bullshit about, oh, Biden and Kamala Harris are a disaster. Their polling numbers. Shut the fuck up. The polling numbers is based off of perception that the media don't want you to see. They're talking about there's a new Biden in town. No. Biden and Kamala haven't been doing anything new. Y'all finally just reporting on it because you realize that your cash cow Trump is going to fucking jail. Y'all wanted his ass back in office so that you can cause commotion and chaos because he's a chaos agent. And it's good for clicks, it's good for views, it's good for engagement. But on the backs of the American people, y'all don't give a fuck about our lives. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you how fucking bullshit these motherfucking media people are. It's interesting that people keep saying, where's Kamala? Because they don't want to talk about what Kamala Harris is doing. You know, Kamala Harris went to France, right? She's negotiating a cybersecurity deal. She's rekindling our international relations. She's working on COVID. They don't go over none of that. Instead, they talk about how Kamala Harris bought pots and fucking pans. Does anybody remember Laura Italiano, a New York Post journalist who was forced to lie on Madam Vice President, who quit her job because they made her write a bullshit-ass lie on Kamala Harris saying that she was handing out her book to immigrant children? Remember? Here's the post. Here's the story. This isn't nothing new. Y'all really thought because, oh, you know, we're breaking ceilings, we're doing that. Kamala Harris is a black woman. These white men are upset because Kamala Harris is on pace of breaking more ties than any vice president in history. She has broken 26 ties, putting her the third highest vice president to ever do so, meaning she's outperforming her white counterparts, these white mediocre men. And the crazy thing is y'all holding her to this most impossible standard that y'all didn't even hold Pence to. But the thing that y'all keep saying, where's Kamala? What is she doing? Look at what she's doing. She's out here fighting for maternal health. It's interesting that y'all want to give black women a pat on the back, but y'all don't give a fuck about them dying on the operating table. But Kamala Harris is doing a whole maternal health week for black women. But fuck her. But she's anti-black too? What the fuck? Y'all want to sit here and act like wasn't the reason the American Rescue Plan passed and y'all got y'all $1,400 stimulus check? The money was spent. Y'all gonna sit here and act like she isn't the reason why the Inflation Act passed? Lowering the cost of prescription drugs and healthcare? Kamala did that. Fuck you.
Now, what do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love seeing your feedback and reading about your own experiences. It really helps others and allows us all to learn more. So if you're into diving into topics that matter, sparking curiosity, and keeping it real every step of the way, hit that subscribe button because you're in the right place. Now let's get back to the perspective.
We are fucked and nobody seems to care. Oh my, we need a full factory fucking reset.
So since I got a little platform, I'm going to go ahead and use it because a lot of people seem to be misinformed. Kamala Harris is not the better option. Don't be fooled just because she is a woman and she is of color. She is not for the people. And me being from the Bay Area and being around when she was actually running the district attorney's office, let me help you understand what I mean by that. And before I have gazillion people hopping in the comments, you know, talking mess regarding Trump and all that, listen, between him and her, all you're doing is picking one of the lesser evils, and that's facts. But being that I am a part of the community of families that are affected by incarcerated people, I am going to go with the person who is less inclined to locking everybody up. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that they don't know if that's correct. And I seen Yandy make a post saying that a lot of that is just propaganda. Well, let me help break it down for you. Kamala Harris grew up in the Berkeley, Oakland area. She went to law school at Hastings and graduated there and started off as a district attorney in Oakland. From Oakland, she went to Alameda before she went to San Francisco. Do y'all remember in 2010 there was that big drug lab scandal with Deborah Madden and the San Francisco Police Department? I remember specifically because I had 2 cases involved in that scandal. Let me help fill you in. She was the head district attorney at the time, and right under her was a guy named Gascon, something like that. He used to be a district attorney in Los Angeles when they had that big old scandal going on with a bunch of police misconduct. Anyhow, around that time, he was reviewing police files for misconduct, and he was basically telling her that there's no policy in place and there needs to be one for any time there's police misconduct. It needs to be reported to the lawyers and the judges on the case. She ignored him. Now, after she ignores his advice that there needs to be policies in place, that way they can curb any type of misconduct that's going on in these cases, it comes out that there's this big drug scandal in the drug labs. Deborah Madden. She was the lead technician in the drug labs. And it had been reported several times to their office that this woman had an issue and that she shouldn't be testifying in anybody's cases. She was touching the drugs. She was stealing the drugs. She was sneaking the drugs. It was just a bunch of bullshit. All of that was hidden from the attorneys and the judges on the cases. Do you know how it came out? It came out because Deborah Madden's family finally took it to the news. And once it became public, then Kamala Harris tried to say that she didn't know anything about it. Yes, you did. Now, keep in mind, Deborah Madden's family also reported that they had already been contacting the district attorney's office for months prior to this, before coming to the news channel, to let them know that there was misconduct going on, and they were also concerned about their family member, all of which got ignored. Now, keep in mind, she was head district attorney at the time. So how are you running an entire department and you claim to not know what's going on in your office, although that was later proven to be bullshit and that she was aware, and her colleagues gave her up on that. But she just chose to withhold the information from the judges and the attorneys on those cases. And what was her reasoning behind that? She wanted to keep as many people locked up as she could, no matter if that case was mishandled, if there was misconduct to get that conviction or not. And she knew that if that misconduct got out, that was grounds for dismissal. And let's talk about Kevin Cooper. Do y'all remember him? That's the man that was hours away from his execution, and DNA had now became a thing, and his lawyers asked for the execution to be stopped and his DNA to be tested so it could possibly prove his innocence. She denied it and didn't want it to happen. However, Governor Newsom stepped up and said, no, let's go ahead and test his DNA, and come to find out, I'll be damned, it was not a match. Oh, wait, let's not forget when she actually made it a crime and parents started getting charged with their children being truant. But when they ran the numbers, they realized that this mostly affected Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, African Americans, children with disabilities, and foster children. And then she later tried to say it was an unintended consequence when she realized that parents were actually getting arrested for this. It was up to a $2,000 fine, up to a maximum of a year in county jail, and people were losing their welfare benefits because their children were truant from school. Unintended consequence. And those were her exact words. Like, what do you mean? You're the one that put this in place. And then when you were confronted with it after people were outraged that parents were actually being arrested for this, now you want to back up and say, oh, it was an unintended consequence. Well, what the hell did you think it was going to be? A scare tactic? And I know y'all already heard this one, but I'm going to go ahead and reiterate it. What was it, about 1,900 people that were arrested for smoking marijuana? Not selling, smoking marijuana. Like, get out of here. You're doing everything that you can to just lock people up and ruin their lives. So yeah, while I'm not a fan of this whole political shit, and like I said, in my opinion, it's just picking one of the two lesser evils, Kamala Harris definitely ain't the one I'm gonna pick.
Y'all, that girl sat up there and literally shook her tail at a event. This is what I was saying about these new artists, but y'all tried to drag me in them comments. This is what I'm saying about these new artists that we call these new celebrities that y'all be gleaning and ooh and eyeing for. You can't even be creative enough to do a switcheroo with your song for a political event, and you shook your tail. You shook your behind as if that was the moment. Wait on me, wait on me. I remember back in the day, artists, and I'm going to say back in the day because I can. Back in the day, even to current, artists who stood for social change. We can take it back to Public Enemy. Fight, what was the name of it, Lord? I'm losing my pulpit notes. Fight the Power, I think the name of the song was. You had Tupac Shakur with Keep Your Head Up. Pac also, what else did he gave us a good moment with not Keep Your Head Up, but what was the song? Give me a second. So Many Tears. Me Against the World. These were songs of social change and social justice. These artists nowadays don't want nothing but money and to be seen and to be gleaned. Bars, didn't mean to say that. Michael Jackson sung about black or white. Michael Jackson also came to tell us, see, these people, they was preaching in their songs. They had so much depth. They knew how to adjust in any room. Don't get me started, y'all. Child, Michael told us they don't really care about us. I felt that. Michael, I felt that when he said they don't really care about us. That hit somewhere. Real artistry is able to switch up at any moment. with your gifting, because it's a gift, and able to adjust in all rooms. Twerking should not be your end all. Amen, church, because I'm preaching. I'm going to give you this. I seen where you was going with the suits. I vibes with that. But where's your PR team? Why your PR team didn't help you adjust? Because your PR team got you looking crazy. I'm eating it up. I don't care what y'all say in these comments. Y'all gonna come for me because y'all mad anyway, because these your peoples. But what's wrong with just getting up and talking on behalf of the communities in which you stand for? What was wrong with that? But you sat up there and twerked your tail. For what? For what, though? That blows me. And this is why I said all of these new artists. He almost said something else. Jesus, help me, Father. These new artists were handpicked for this season and for this time. This is why I said that. And half of them ain't got a drop of talent. They're industry plants. And they're planted for one reason and one reason only. That's what I said, and I'm standing on it. I'm standing on this business because ain't no way. Who else? Who else had a good, even Beyonce. I forgot what song it was. She was sitting on them cars, looked like police cars. Let me look up this song. She said, freedom, freedom, where are you? Something about breaking chains. Something she need freedom too. If you are artists, please have some type of depth to why and what you are doing. You should be able to adjust in any room, in any situation. But see, I'm going to go on the tangent. I'm going to let this thing go. I'm going to let it go. Ain't no way you set up there, I got to go back to that, and twerk your tail. That blows me. That's a video.
So that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as always, stay tuned for the next video. Peace.